down by the railroad tracks, shooting BBs at old beer cans, choking on the smoke from a lucky strike somebody lifted off of his old man. We were football flunkies, southern rock junkies, cranking up the stereos, singing loud and proud to give me three steps, Simple Man and Curtis Low. We were good, you know. Got some discount knowledge at the junior college where we majored in beer and girls. It was all real funny till we ran out of money and they threw us out into the world. Yeah, the kids that thought they'd run this town ain't running much of anything, just loving and laughing and busting our asses, and we call it all living the dream. But these are my people, this is where I come from. We're giving this life everything we've got and then some. It ain't always pretty, but it's real. It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. These are my people. Well, we take it all week on the chin with a grin till we make it to a Friday night. And it's church league softball, holler about a bad call, preacher breaking up a fight. Then later on at the Green Light Tavern, well, everybody's gathering as friends, and the beers are pouring till Monday morning, and we start it all over again. And these are my people, this is where I come from. We're giving this life everything we've got and then some. It ain't always pretty, but it's real. It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. These are my people. We fall down and we get up. We walk proud and we talk tough. We got heart and we got nerve, even if we are a bit disturbed. Woo. Come on. These are my people, this is where I come from. We're giving this life everything we've got and then some. It ain't always pretty, but it's real. It's the way we were made, wouldn't have it any other way. Oh no, these are my people. Yeah. Woo.
You can tell your old man you'll do some largemouth fish in another town. You just got too much on your plate to bait and cast a line. You can always put a rain check in his hand till you can't. You can keep putting off forever with that girl whose heart you hold, swearing that you'll last someday further down the road. You can always put a diamond on her hand till you can't. If you got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can till you can. There's a box of greasy parts sitting in the trunk of that 65, still waiting on you and your granddad to bring it back to life. You can always get around to fixing up that Pontiac till you can't. If you got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you just talk away, 'cause you'll never know how bad you wanna till you can't someday. Don't wait on tomorrow, 'cause tomorrow may not show. Say your sorries, your I love yous, 'cause man, you never know. If you got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, till you can. Yeah, if you got a chance, take it. Take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, until you can. Till you can. Yeah. Take it.
Got a call from a friend about a friend. It's some news no one ever wants to hear. It hit me like a punch, it took my breath. He was just getting into his best years. Yes, something like that'll shake you up, wake you up. So I stopped off at a Texaco, bought a Slim Jim and a Coke, parked out by the water just to watch that river flow. Grabbed my guitar from the backseat, wrote a song just for me. I sung it for the blue sky and a couple live oak trees. I thought of home, grabbed my phone from my pocket, and I called Mama. It rang a couple times and she picked up. I can always hear her smile when I call. I just called to tell you that I loved you. I was missing you and Dad and home, that's all. I got to really thinking this morning about what's important. I stopped off at a Texaco, bought a Slim Jim and a Coke, parked out by the water just to watch that river flow. Grabbed my guitar from the backseat, wrote a song just for me. I sung it for the blue sky and a couple live oak trees. I thought of home, grabbed my phone from my pocket, and I called Mama. Now on, I ain't gonna wait so long to stop off at a Texaco, buy a Slim Jim and a Coke, park out by the water just to watch that river flow. Grab my guitar from the backseat, write a song just for me. Sing it for the blue sky and a couple live oak trees, and think of home. Grab my phone from my pocket, instead of saying tomorrow I'm gonna. And I called Mama, and I called Mama.
Kids ought to stay kids as long as they can. Turn off the screen, go climb a tree, get dirt on their hands. I believe we gotta forgive and make amends, 'cause nobody gets a second chance to make new old friends. I believe in working hard for what you've got, even if it don't add up to a hell of a lot. I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under neon or stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good. I believe them streets of gold are worth the work, but I'd still wanna go even if they were paved in dirt. I believe that youth is spent well on the young, 'cause wisdom in your teens would be a lot less fun. I believe if you just go by the nightly news, your faith in all mankind would be the first thing you lose. I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under neon or stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good. I believe that days go slow and years go fast, and every breath's a gift, the first one to the last. I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under neon or stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good. I believe most people are good. I believe most people are good.
Running around in this new truck, bank lets me borrow from month to month. Running out of credit and find a little cash on the radio. Standing still there blowing past, numbers on cars going NASCAR fast. What I wouldn't give for a slow down, don't you know? 'Cause where I come from, only the horses run. When the day is done, we take it easy. Meanwhile, back at Mama's, the porch lights on, come on in if you wanna. Supper's on the stove and beer's in the fridge. Red sun sinking out low on the ridge. Games on the tube and Daddy smokes cigarettes. Whiskey keeps his whistle wet. Funny the things you thought you'd never miss in a world gone crazy as this. Well, I found a girl and we don't fit in here. Talk about how hard it is to breathe here. Even with the windows down, can't catch a southern breeze here. One of these days gonna pack it up and leave here. 'Cause meanwhile, back at mama's, the porch lights on, come on in if you wanna. Supper's on the stove and beers in the fridge. Red sun sinking out low on the ridge. Games on the tube and daddy smokes cigarettes. Whiskey keeps his whistle wet. Funny the things you thought you never missed in a world gone crazy as this. Yeah, a little dirt on the road. I miss corn growing in a row. I miss being somebody everybody knows there. Everybody knows everybody. I miss those small town roots, walking around in muddy boots, the sound of rain on an old tin roof. It's time we head on back. 'Cause meanwhile, back at mama's, the for sale sign's going up, and I'm gonna dump this truck and the little I got on a loan to own and a 3-acre lot. Put supper on the stove and beer in the fridge. We're going for broke, yeah, we're gonna be rich. Watch the sun setting on the ridge. Baby, tell me what you think about this. Me and you back at mama's. Yeah, me and you back at mama's.
When I'm sitting in traffic some afternoon, or bored to death in some waiting room, I'm gonna close my eyes and picture you today. You keep brushing that hair back out of your eyes, but it just keeps falling and so do I. Well, I'm feeling like the luckiest man alive today. And I don't know about tomorrow, but right now the whole world feels right. And the memory of a day like today can get you through the rest of your life. I know it won't always be like this. Life can change as quick as a kiss. It's not over yet and I already miss today. I don't know about tomorrow, right now the whole world is right. And the memory of a day like today can get you through the rest of your life. And as the seasons change and time goes by, when your hair is gray and so is mine, that you're gonna be just as beautiful as you are to me today. get you through the rest of your life.
I turned on the evening news, saw an old man being interviewed, turning 102 today. They asked him what's the secret to life. He looked up from his old pipe, laughed and said, all I can say is, don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink, you just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed, and you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. Well, I was glued to my TV when it looked like he looked at me and said, let's start putting first things first. 'Cause when your hourglass runs out of sand, you can't flip it over and start again. Take every breath God gives you for what it's worth. Don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink. Just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed, and you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. I've been trying to slow it down, I've been trying to take it in, in this here today, gone tomorrow world we're living in. Don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25. Then your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink. Just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. Next thing you know, you better have a 50 years as they're in bed, and you pray and God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think. So don't blink. No, don't blink. Life goes faster than you think.
Using a fake ID at a college bar, getting caught with a girl in the backseat of a car, running out on the field for the senior game wearing number 17, There's a last time for everything. Like a George Strait cassette in a Pontiac, or telling supercuts, let's leave it long in the back. Wearing a tux and a high school gym, and she's wearing your class ring. There's a last time for everything. Last call, last chance, last song, last dance. Sometimes you just don't know when that's gonna be. Hold me, baby, give me a kiss, like tonight is all there is. 'Cause there's a last time for everything. Dog you ever had, spending all day on the lake with your granddad, watching Glenn Fry sing Already Gone at the Forum in LA. There's a last time for everything. Last call, last chance, last song, last dance. Sometimes you just don't know when that's gonna be. Hold me, baby, give me a kiss, like tonight is all there is. 'Cause there's a last time for everything. That's right. Kissing goodbye on her porch and driving away, introducing her as your fiance, getting woke up at 5 a.m. to see if Santa came. There's a last time for everything. Biscuits and gravy at your mama's house. Last time for everything. Spring break on a fold-out couch. Last time for everything. Little Jimmy on the Opry stage. Last time for everything. Hearing Prince sing Purple Rain. Last time for everything. Last time for everything. There's still black marks on that county road where we drag raced our pickups and Mustangs and weathered all the sun and rain. And to this day up on that overpass, even underneath the new paint, you can still see Allie, will you marry me? I take a ride, look around, and there ain't no doubt it sure left its mark on us. We sure left our mark on it. We let the world know we were here with everything we did. We laid a lot of memories down like tattoos on this town. There's still a rope burn on that oak branch that hangs over the river. I still got the scar swinging out a little too far. There ain't a corner of this hallowed ground that we ain't laughed
cried on. It's where we loved, lived, and learned real life stuff. It's everything we're made of. It sure left its mark on us. We sure left our mark on it. We let the world know we were here with everything we did. We laid a lot of memories down like tattoos on this town. Like tattoos on this town. Everywhere there we are, it hits me right in my heart. It sure left its mark on us. We sure left our mark on it. We let the world know we were here with everything we did. We laid a lot of memories down, and we'll always be hanging around like tattoos on this town. Like tattoos on this town.
There's a story that my daddy tells religiously, like clockwork every time he sees an opening in a conversation about the way things used to be. Well, I'd just roll my eyes and make a beeline for the door, but I'd always end up starry-eyed, cross-legged on the floor, hanging on to every word. Man, the things I heard. It was harder times and longer days, 5 miles of school uphill both ways. We were cane switch raised, a dirt floor poor. Of course, that was back before the war. Yeah, your uncle and I made quite a pair, flying F-15s through hostile air. He went down, but they missed me by a hair. He'd always stop right there and say,
That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. That's your chin held high as a tear falls down, a gut sucked in, a chest stuck out like a small town flag a flying, or a newborn baby crying in the arms of the woman that you love. That's something to be proud of.
son graduating college, that was mama's dream. But I was on my way to anywhere else when I turned 18. 'Cause when you got a fast car, you think you got everything. I learned quick those GTOs don't run on faith. I ended up broken down in some town north of LA, working maximum hours for minimum wage. Well, I fell in love, next thing I know, the babies came and the car got sold. Sure do miss that old hot rod, but you sure save gas in them foreign jobs. Dad, I wonder if I ever let you down, if you're ashamed how I turned out. Well, he lowered his voice, then he raised his brow, said, let me tell you right now,
that's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. You don't need to make a million, just be thankful to be working. If you're doing what you're able, and putting food there on the table, and providing for the family that you love, that's something to be proud of.
and if all you ever really do is the best you can, well, you did it,
said I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me, when a moment came that stopped me on a dime. I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the options and talking about sweet time. I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit you when you get that kind of news? Man, what'd you do? And he said, I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I looked deeper and I spoke sweeter and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. He said I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't, and I became a friend would like to have. And all of a sudden going fishing wasn't such an imposition, and I went 3 times that year. I lost my dad. Well, I finally read the good book, and I took a good long hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again. And then I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I looked deeper and I spoke sweeter and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. Like tomorrow was a gift and you got eternity to think about what you do with it. What did you do with it? What did I do with it? What would I do with it? Skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu, and I looked deeper and I spoke sweeter and I watched an eagle as it was flying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying, to live like you were dying, to live like you were dying.
I was rolling wheels and shifting gears round that Jersey turnpike. Barney stopped me with his gun 10 minutes after midnight. Said, sir, you broke the limit in this rusty old truck. I don't know about that accent, son. Just where did you come from? I said, where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of front porch sitting. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from, I south of Detroit City, pulled in this country kitchen. Try their brand of barbecue, the sign said finger licking. Well, I paid the tab and the lady asked me how'd I like my biscuit. I'll be honest with you, ma'am, it ain't like mama fixed it. 'Cause where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of front porch picking. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from. I was chasing sun on 101 somewhere around Ventura. I lost a universal joint and I had to use my finger. This tall lady stopped and asked if I had plans for dinner. Said, no thanks, ma'am, back home we like the girls that sing soprano. 'Cause where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of front porch sitting. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from. I was heading home on 65 somewhere around Kentucky when the CB rang for the bobtail rig. It's rolling on like thunder. Well, I answered him and he asked me, aren't you from out in Tulsa? No, but you might have seen me there. Just dropped a load of salsa. Where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of front porch picking. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from, yes, cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of back porch picking. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from, where I come from, yeah, where I come from. A lot of front porch sitting, staring up at heaven. Where I come from, where I come from, trying to make a living.
She was staring out the window of their SUV, complaining, saying, I can't wait to turn 18. She said, I'll make my own money and I'll make my own rules. Mama put the car in park out there in front of the school, and she kissed her head and said, I was just like you. You're gonna miss this, you're gonna want this back. You're gonna wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are some good times, so take a good look around. You may not know it now, but you're gonna miss this. Before she knows it, she's a brand new bride in her one-bedroom apartment, and her daddy stops by. He tells her it's a nice place. She says, it'll do for now. Starts talking about babies and buying a house. Daddy shakes his head and says, baby, just slow down. 'Cause you're gonna miss this, you're gonna want this back. You're gonna wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are some good times, so take a good look around. You may not know it now, but you're gonna miss this. kids of my own. One's 36, one's 23. It's hard to believe, but you're gonna miss this. You're gonna want this back. You're gonna wish these days hadn't gone by so fast. These are some good times, so take a good look around. You may not know it now, but you're gonna miss this. You're gonna miss this. Yeah, you're gonna miss this. You start walking mine. We meet in the middle, meet that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, 'cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long. We meet in the middle. It's been 7 years tomorrow since we set our vows under that old pine tree. You ought to see it now, standing in the backyard, reminding me and you, if we don't see eye to eye, there's something we can do. I'd start walking your way, you'd start walking mine. We meet in the middle, meet that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, 'cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long. We meet in the middle. Babe, I love the way we work it out. That's what love is all about. I start walking your way, you start walking mine. We meet in the middle, meet that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, 'cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long when we meet in the middle. I start walking your way, you start walking mine. We meet in the middle, meet that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, 'cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long when we meet in the middle. I start walking your way, you start walking mine. We meet in the middle, meet that old Georgia pine. We gain a lot of ground, 'cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long when we meet in the middle.
That old flat rock where I come from, where I come from.
Almost heaven, West Virginia,
Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
Life is older, older than the trees,
younger than the mountains,
blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong.
country roads.
If I
All my memories,
should stay,
they gather round her.
A miner's lady, stranger to blue water.
So I'll go, dark and dusty,
Yet I know
painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes.
country roads take me home to the place I belong.
West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads,
On the road again, like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We're the best of friends.
If Sister like the world keep turning our way, our way.
country road, take me home
To the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama.
Oh, take me home, country roads. Oh, I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you dreamed of.
I wish you joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love.
and I will always love you right. Will always love you.
country roads, take me home. I just can't wait to get home.
My father's always making music with my friend. I can't wait to get home. Take me
A few days before he turned 80, he was sitting out back in a rocker. He said, "What you been up to lately?" I told him chasing a dollar, and in between sips of coffee, he poured this wisdom out. Said, "If you want my 2 cents on making a dollar count, buy dirt, find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. Add a few limbs to your family tree, and watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. 'Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt."
Before you get caught on that ladder, let me tell you what it's all about. Find you a few things that matter that you can put a fence around. And then he laid it out. Buy dirt, find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down deep. And add a few limbs to your family tree. And watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. 'Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt.
You can buy dirt. Thank the good Lord
going for it, 'cause he ain't making any more of it. So buy dirt, find the one you can't live without.
Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground.
Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. And send your prayers up and your roots down deep. Add a few limbs to your family tree. Watch their pencil marks in the grass in the yard all grow up. 'Cause the truth about it is, it all goes by real quick. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy dirt.
Make you mow the grass and do it for free. When you think you're done, he'll say rake the leaves. He'll say it builds character, but it's 90 degrees. You'll cuss him under your breath. He won't let you quit your football team or hang with a kid that lives down the street, 'cause he heard he smokes dope and got holes in his jeans. Looking back, he was right, I guess. Things dads do, he'll act like he does when he don't have a clue. And I know it seems like he's flying by the seat of his out-of-style jeans. You'll get embarrassed when he ruins your cool, when he pulls out his camera on your first day of school. And that's just a few things dads do. To hand you the keys to a hand-me-down truck and take them right back when you tear it up on your first broken heart. I'll say, son, tell you what, let's talk it out over a beer. And when you get married, he'll be your best man and pay for the booze and a bad cover band. And he'll give a long speech and say this was God's plan. He'll try not to cry, but he will. Things dads do, give you his old recliner for your new living room. And he'll call too much, and out of the blue without asking, show up. He'll give you advice about your career, complain and ask why your fridge is full of weird beer. That's just a few things dads do. Sit in the waiting room chewing red man till the doctor comes out and says, y'all come on in. He'll say she looks perfect, then shake your hand and say, now you'll understand. Things dads do, you'll think it's crazy until you want to, and you'll lose your mind. And a couple years sleep in just 3 months' time. The next thing you know, one's 5 and one's 3, and one's almost 1. And she's cutting her teeth in your red his shoes, and you're starting to do more than a few things dads do. Things dads do, things dads do.
carved it in an old cottonwood tree. Signed a bunch of high school yearbooks so they wouldn't forget about me. It wasn't till I saw my daddy's name in stone I knew it ain't a question of if they will, it's how they remember you. Did you stand or did you fall? Build a bridge or build a wall? How'd you love or give it all? What did you do? What did you do? Did you make them laugh or make them cry? Did you quit or did you try? Live your dreams or let them die? What did you choose? What did you choose? When it all comes down, it ain't if, it's how they remember you. When you're down to your last dollar, will you give or will you take? When the stiff wind blows the hardest, will you bend or will you break? You're gonna leave a legacy no matter what you do. It ain't a question of if they will, it's how they remember you. Did you stand